Y'all help me. And here, ladies and gentlemen, live from the world-famous stage of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee, is Mr. Tom King.
Sitting on the back porch, listen to the whippoorwill playing the door. Country is minding your business, helping a stranger if he comes your way. Country is living in the city, knowing your people, knowing your kind. Country is what you make it. Country is all in your mind. Well, country is working for a living, thinking your own thoughts, loving your town. Country is teaching your children, find out what's right, stand your ground. Country's having a good time, listen to the music, singing your part. Country's walking in the moonlight. Country's all in your heart. Thank you very much. Well, I thank you all very much, and we'd like to thank RCA Victor Records and Mr. Jerry Bradley and Mr. Joe Galante for suggesting that we do this album, and we're glad you came out for this very special day for the storytellers and me. And we're going to sing you some songs that we've written down through the years and kind of bring back some memories. I know a lot of you have been with us all down through these years while we were picking and singing these songs and writing them. And I got to Nashville about 21 years ago, and that was before some of you were even born. But 21 years ago, Roger Miller was riding a Honda. Mel Tillis couldn't get arrested. What else was going on? Chris Christopherson was a bartender. Tanya Tucker was 1 year old. And Dolly Parton was a 32B. Now that's a long time ago. Well, you folks have been nice to me and the storytellers and our music down through the years, and here's one of the first songs, not the very first, but one of the first songs I recorded, and this is a good tune about a job I used to have, working in a cemetery, or a graveyard, if you will. And I made up this tune here and get a lot of requests for this traveling around. Well, the man that preached the funeral said it really was a simple way to die. Oh, he lay down to rest one afternoon and never opened up his eyes. Well, they hired me and Fred and Joe to dig the grave and carry up some cash. Oh, it took us 7 hours, and I guess we must have drunk a case of beer. Lord, I guess I ought to go and watch them put him down, but I don't own a suit. And anyway, when they start talking about the fire in hell, well, I get fooled. So I just sit here in my truck and act like I don't know him when they pass. Oh, and anyway, when they're all through, I got to go to work and mow the grass. Well, here they come, and who's that riding in that big old shiny limousine? Oh, look at all that chrome, I do believe that's the sharpest thing I've seen. Oh, that must belong to his great uncle. Somebody said he owned a big old farm. Ah, when they get parked, I'll mose it down and look it over. That won't do no harm. Lord, that must be the widow in the car, and would you take a look at that? Ah, that sure is a pretty dress. You know, some women do look good in black. Why, he's not even in the ground, and they tell me his truck is up for sale. Oh, they say she took it pretty hard, but you can't tell too much behind a veil. Lord, listen, ain't that pretty when the bugler plays the military tap? Oh, I think that when you're in the war, they always hide and play a song like that. Well, here I am, and there they go, and I guess you just call it my bad luck. Lord, I hope you rest in peace. The trouble is, the fellow owes me $40. Thank you. Well, I thank you all very much. You're a beautiful audience, and I know many of you by name, and I'm looking out in the audience and seeing some faces that I have seen on my country music tours around America and around the world in the past 21 years, and they really look good. I don't know how you folks are getting so old, and I'm staying so young. Well, here's a song I wrote about a young man who inspired me to be a guitar picker and a singer and a songwriter. And without this young man's help, I wouldn't be here today, and it would be a crime if I didn't mention him and sing a song about him. But this is a young man who was an original. He did his own kind of picking and own kind of singing, and maybe he was an inspiration to me in that regard, too. But he died when I was about 7 or 8 years old, and he was only 19 or 20 years old at the time. I sometimes wish that he had lived and you could have had an opportunity to hear him pick and sing. But since he can't be here today, we'd like to do this song that I wrote about him. It's a tribute to him. I remember the year that Clayton Delaney died. They said for the last 2 weeks that he suffered and cried. It made a big impression on me, although with a barefoot kid. They said he got religion at the end, and I'm glad that he did. You know, Clayton was the best guitar picker in our town. I thought he was a hero. I used to follow Clayton around. Clayton used to tell me, son, you better put that old guitar away. There ain't no money in it, it'll lead you to an early grave. Oh, Daddy said he drank a lot, but I could never understand. I knew he used to pick up in Ohio with a 5-piece band. I often wondered why Clayton, who seemed so good to me, never took his guitar and made it down in Tennessee. But I guess if I'd admit it, Clayton taught me how to drink booze. I can see him half-stone picking up the lovesick blues. When Clayton died, I made him a promise I was gonna carry on somehow. I'd give $100 if he can only see me now. Opryland, USA, I remember the year that Clayton Delaney died. Nobody ever knew it, but I went out in the woods and I cried. Oh, I know there's a lot of big preachers, they know a lot more than I do. Could be that the good Lord likes a little picking too. Oh, I hope so. I remember the year that Clayton Delaney died. Thank you. Well, I'm going to accept that compliment of that great applause on behalf of Clayton and myself. Well, I have been, as you all know, I write books, and I've written 3 books, and my latest book is a novel called The Laughing Man of Woodmont Coves, and it's just a great novel, isn't it, Ann? Got punctuation and everything in it. And not only do I love to write, I love to read. And I've been reading, here of late, I have been reading Roy Clark's Big Note Banjo book. Now, I don't know if you all have one of these or not, but it teaches you how to play the banjo. And up until today, this was the greatest 5-string banjo tune in the world. I love this tune. It's written by the legendary Earl Scruggs, a good friend of mine, and if y'all like this, I'll send Roy money for his book. Oh, boy, I'm going to send Roy his money. I don't know, I might send him a case of lemonade to boot. Well, you know, when I was a little boy listening to music, I used to listen to Platt and Scruggs, and I used to listen to the Stanley Brothers, the Osborne Brothers, and all of those great bluegrass groups back there, and Don Reno and Red Smiley were favorites of mine. Back in this song was recorded just after the Second World War, and I don't know if you all remember that or not, but it was in all the papers and everything. Real big war, and we won it. In case you didn't hear it. But I love this song. I used to sit around on a battery-operated radio and listen to this tune. And when I grew up, I learned to pick it a little bit. And you all tolerate this song. This is a good one right here. Well, The day I met you, my heart spoke to me, and it said to love you through eternity. And not knowing that you were another's bride, I vowed I'd always be close by your side. You know I love you and I always will. I know you're married, but I love you still. Oh, you broke a heart, dear, that would die for you. I'd give this world if I belonged to you. But the game is over and I know I've lost, and my broken heart will have to pay the cost. You know I love you and I always will. I know you're married, but I love you still. You know I love you and I always will. I know you're married, but I love you still. Ah, isn't that a good tune? That takes you back a while now. You have to have been around country music a long time to remember that one. Well, thank you all very much. Hey, you're a great group. I want to tell you who the rest of the storytellers are. They're Drew Sexton on the piano, Kenny Soderstrom on the fiddle, Leon Watson on the bass, Jimmy Merle on the lead guitar, and Terry Buttram, who is a distant relative of the legendary Pat Buttram, who ran around with Gene Autry for years. And one of the young man here who has been with me longer than any of the other storytellers, 3 days. No, a good friend of mine, good songwriter, and a great musician, Mr. Ray Edwards. Would you all give the storytellers a little round of applause there? They're really a good bunch of boys, and these gentlemen have been with me a long time, and just this year we've been to a lot of foreign countries. We've been to Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Ireland, England, New York. We've been to a lot of foreign countries this year. Well, one of my favorite songwriters is my brother, Hillman Hall, who wrote Pass Me By for Johnny Rodriguez and a lot of good country and western songs. And when you get one of your favorite songwriters and another one of your favorite songwriters together and they write a song, you really kind of get attached to it. And Hal Bynum, one of the writers on, what is that song about? 400 children and a crop in the fields. What is that song? Lucille. Yeah, that's the name of it. Hal Bynum helped write Lucille, and Brother Hillman and Hal Bynum got together and wrote this song. They're two really good songwriters. I'd like to do one of their tunes for you. This is a good one, too. It's called Please Don't Tell Ruby Where I'm At. If you're ever down in Dallas, drinking in the palace, say hello to Ruby. She's an old friend of mine. You just wait until she's able, and she'll come sit at your table, hug your neck, learn your name, have a little glass of wine. It was 1967, We were both in search of heaven. She was young and pretty, and I was hard and lean. She begged me not to leave her, but I done caught the fever, and I told her that old heaven ain't a damn thing but a dream. Listen when she talks of things we used to do. Believe her when she speaks of old friends we once knew. When she mentioned me, I'll almost have to make the bed. She'll say, good Lord, I wish we'd never met. Oh, don't you dare tell Ruby where I'm at. You know, I lit out from Texas. I was young and restless. I thought guns and whiskey were the makings of a man. I had a future waiting for me, working for the state of Georgia. I always think of Dallas when I hear that jail door slam. Tell her no when she asks if I'm coming down. Lie and tell her Dallas ain't my kind of town. Go ahead and love her, I'll forgive you that. But if Ruby does not love me, I will eat my hat. But don't you dare tell Ruby where I'm at. See, Ruby thinks I'm in Virginia someplace driving one of them big trucks that go. You don't know where I'm at. Don't tell her, please.